we stopped to buy a newspaper. And then we joined Kisozi Road. After crossing that road of Chanja, which leads to Chanja Town Council. My road, Kisozi Road, is a highly built road on both sides. We drove for a very short time, I think less than 10 minutes. The number of humps, but on the first hump, shots started ringing out, gunshots.
Okay.
However, at first, I had not fully taken in that they were gunshots. I thought maybe they were, but there was the bodyguard had crashed into our vehicle. But soon, it dawned on me that these were gunshots coming in from behind and on the right-hand side of the vehicle. At that time, my lord, the shooting was both from behind and on the side. I was seated on the left-hand side of the vehicle with my escort also on the left-hand side. My driver, of course, was on the driving seat on the right, together with my late daughter, who was seated behind him. When the shots came in from behind and also on the side, the first victim who took the shots was my daughter. And I heard her shout, "Jesus!" And she fell on my lap, bleeding. Just a short distance, the vehicle stopped and it leaned on the left-hand side where there was a perimeter wall. I realized that my driver would no longer move the vehicle. And I saw his head drop, which meant that he had been shot. I called on my escort and I said, "Kari, get that rifle, get out and respond, because I could see one of the assailants in front of the vehicle, seated with his face facing us, facing the vehicle, the back on the border, but like I don't know how to explain it, but he was seated back to the rider with the face facing now our vehicle. At that time, I instructed my bodyguard to pick the rifle and try to engage the assailant. My lord, at that time, I'd already been shot in the right hand and was bleeding. My bodyguard squeezed out of the vehicle. I put up my left hand to gain stability and also tried to squeeze out of the vehicle from the back seat.
What do you mean your bodyguard has
It got out of the vehicle because, as I said, the vehicle had leaned close to the wall. So he had to squeeze himself out of the vehicle with the rifle. Bodyguard to get out, he picked his rifle and squeezed himself out of the vehicle from the front seat. As I said, at that time, already my right hand had been shot with a bullet lodged. And when I saw my escort had got out, I also put my left hand at the front seat to support myself to also pull out of the vehicle. And at that time, that's when my left hand was also shot, and for it was the hand was fully shattered. I squeezed out of the vehicle, dropped down.
Where did you pass?
I used the right hand, which was not highly injured.
No. Which part of the car did you pass?
The left hand, because I was seated on the
Which
left
part
hand.
of the car? You use the left side of the
The
car.
left hand side of the car, between the car and the wall.
Go ahead.
So I squeezed out, dropped down and rolled back on the rear tire to gain protection. And I was also joined by the bodyguard at the rear of the vehicle, down. We both lied down there, and from underneath the vehicle we could see the front, and we saw that the assailant who was on the border was still attempting possibly to come back to the vehicle.
Let's repeat that.
Where we were lying down behind the vehicle, we could see through the underneath of the vehicle, the front, that the assailant who was seated on the border was actually trying to come back to the vehicle. When he fell out,
When he got out, when he squeezed himself,
I couldn't tell whether he was engaging, because it was really a survival mode. I could not tell whether he was engaging, but I told him to engage at that time when I saw that assailant wanting to come back. After a few shots, the assailant who was trying to come back actually sped off on the border. He sped off towards the junction between Kisozi and the Kisozi Road.
All right.
Heading towards Bukoto. At that time, my bodyguard said, "We cannot stay here." He got me on the right-hand side. It was still okay. And we moved off from the scene. Moved to the right.
so you're saying you had your right hand.
Yes, the one which was not highly shattered.
And you moved where?
Moved to the right of the road, away from the scene. And we chanced on an abandoned chicken house. My bodyguard said, "You stay here, let me go back to the scene to secure whatever was in the car." The shooting had stopped, and when I entered that place, I realized I was breathing heavily. And I got scared that I would breathe to death. So immediately, I followed back my escort because I could not hear any more shots. I followed back the escort to the scene of crime.